On March 9th, 1901, Ransom Olds had put the final touches on his 6 prototypes. See, Ransom Olds had founded Olds Motor Vehicle Company in 1897, and ever since he had founded that company, he had been working diligently to come up with prototypes to offer multiple models for his first production vehicle. And on March 9th, all 6 of them had finally been completed. With a sigh of relief, Ransom went home for the day, only to find out that his factory was currently on fire. And the reports that he was getting was saying that it was on the side of the factory where all 6 of his prototypes were housed. Amidst the chaos, it not only looked like his entire factory was a total loss, but that he had lost all 6 of his prototypes in the fire, thus putting close to 4 years of hard labor and investment up in smoke. It was only after things started kind of calming down and he could get more access to the property that he found out that there were a couple of employees that just happened to stay late that night and were in the building when the fire started. It should be said that they were not the cause of the fire. They just happened to be staying late to get a little bit of extra work done before going home that night. And thank goodness that they did, because once the building was ablaze, they worked their way through the factory to the room where the 6 prototypes were held. Unfortunately, much of the room was already quite on fire at the time, so they were only able to salvage one of the 6 prototypes, wheeling it out the side door and saving it from total destruction. And unfortunately, by the time that vehicle was safe, when they turned to go back into the building, the fire was just too much for them to risk going back in and trying to save any of the other ones. Now that wasn't going to stop good old Mr. Olds. He decided that he would take one of the remaining buildings that wasn't affected by the fire, and he would set up a makeshift assembly line in that building. And that right there is when Eli Olds became the very first to mass produce a combustion engine vehicle in the United States. The Model R, also known as the Curve Dash, would be a staple for Olds Motor Vehicle Company until the company was sold in 1907 to GM. So here's my question to you guys. Do you think that them just focusing on the Curve Dash possibly gave them an advantage? Or do you think that if they had spread their resources over multiple models, they would have been as successful? I honestly guess we'll never know, but it is kind of fun to think about.